I am back with another great episode on retirement planning for single women. This is something that I had to go through myself just a few months ago, and so I'm here to help you with that. I'm Adrian from Adrian's Avenue, and I'm here to help you make better decisions for a better life. Today we're going to take the guesswork out of retirement for single women. Let's jump right into this one. First, I'd like to say to all women, it is never too early to start retirement planning. You can start day one on the job. You can start in your early 20s, your 30s, your 40s. As soon as you get started, the better off you'll be and the more money that you'll be able to stack up so that you can live a comfortable retirement life. One thing that you want to have in place as soon as you get to that time are the goals that you want during retirement. Your lifestyle. What type of lifestyle do you want to live? Do you want to travel a lot? Do you want to spend time with your grandkids or family? Where in the world do you want to live? Because you can live at this point anywhere in the world. You don't have to stay in the United States. There's a lot of people leaving the United States going to other countries to live. Where in the world do you want to live? You may have visited some of these places and considered them, I want to retire there or spend a few years there before I come back to the States. But where do you want to live? That's another thing that you want to decide. What age do you want to retire at? You don't have to wait till 65, 67 to retire. You can retire as early as you want to retire, as early as your financial number says you can retire. So keep all of these things in mind when it comes to your retirement. Now, I'm sure if you've been listening to me for any time, you have a budget together. Your current budget will be the basis for you to discover what your retirement budget is going to be. Because there are some things on your current budget you won't need when you retire. So you can go through your current budget to see the things you're going to cut back on, the things that you may cut off on, the things that you may have to increase some, such as health coverage and that type of thing. Your company may not be paying 100% for your health coverage if you have health coverage for them, but you will need health coverage in retirement. So consider that. But look at your current budget, look at what's going in, what's going out, and work from that. That will be your basis to start. Now, the income that you have coming in, that's the money that you're going to have to spend. And you may not know in your 20s how much that would be, but the closer you get to retirement, you will start getting those numbers in place. When the things that you're going to save in the 401k or the Roth 401k, IRA or the Roth IRA, you will know that much money when you get closer to retirement and how you will pull out of that. So all these pools of income, you will have a better idea the closer you get to retirement, but it will all go into you figuring out your budget. But the start is to already have a budget in place before you even consider retirement. If you are single, the number one friend that you're going to have is your emergency fund and maybe some other type of savings that you've socked aside. Because when you're single, your savings, your amount that you have coming in is the single income that you have coming in. You don't have any support from anywhere else. And that's the difficult part about being single. There are a lot of things that are good about being single, and we'll cover some of those. But the difficult part is that there's one income. You cannot rely on a spouse or someone else to help you out as far as meeting your bills, your responsibilities every month for your living expenses and anything else you want to do, travel or whatever else it is that you want to do, hobbies, whatever else it is. It will be your single income. So this thing is the one thing that you have to get together is your income to make sure that you have the right amount of money in your income and that emergency fund, that fund that you set aside. And if you are single, you may want to consider setting aside more than just 3 to 6 months of expenses, monthly expenses. You may want to go 9 months of monthly expenses. You may want to go 12 months of monthly expenses. However you can sleep well at night is the amount that you want to set aside. But this will be your supposedly second, perhaps, income, especially if something happens. It is still called an emergency fund. If you want to have a second income somewhere set aside to help you out while you're not working anymore, while you're fully retired, put a savings together and pull from that money. But you can also calculate how much you can pull from that money each month or each year before it's exhausted. So we need to calculate all these things as single females to make sure we have the money that we need with the things that we want to do during retirement. There's a question that comes up, well, how much should I save for retirement? How much should I have before I'm able to retire? And that is an individual answer for yourself. You know how much you make, you know how much extra that you may have, and that's how much you can save. Some say 10 to 15%. Some go to the extreme. Some will live off of 50% of their salary and save 50% of their salary, which is a great thing if you want to live like that. But in the range of anywhere from 10 to 20, 25% would be great if you can save that much, because the younger you start at this, compound interest is on your side. Time is on your side, and you will be amazed at how much money that you can accumulate over 20, 30 years before you get ready to retire, if it takes you that long to do it. So start socking money away, not only in the places where your company may give you, which is a 401k, but you can do something in a Roth IRA. You can set up stock funds, investment funds for yourself outside of your company, outside of your IRA accounts and those retirement accounts. You can set up different monies in different funds that will grow for you and benefit you. And I guarantee you, your future self will thank your today self for the things that you did for your retirement. There's a couple other things that you want to do if you're a single female, and that is to get with a professional about long-term care insurance. Because at some point in time, if you're single, you may not have kids, or you may have kids, or you may not have family around when you age enough where you need to have assistance with your living situation. And if that's the case, you want to make sure you have the money set aside that if you do have to go into some type of retirement home or a nursing home, that you will have that money available for you. They are very expensive to get into some of the better places where you can stay. And so you want to be prepared for that. And you may want to set aside some money for the long-term care, or get the long-term care insurance. Talk to your professional to see if this is something they feel that you may need. You may have enough money set aside where you don't have to worry about long-term care insurance, because it can be a little pricey, but you would rather have it and need it and have it to use for that if you need it, rather than not have the money to go in a nice facility. There are other facilities you can go into, but they are not as nice as some of the ones that you can if you have that long-term care insurance. And that cost is rising on pretty much an annual basis. So take care of that. Talk to a professional. And anything else, any other questions that you may have about your retirement, what you're doing now, what you need to do and prepare for retirement. These are just some basic tips, especially for the single female, because the only one that you can count on is you. So make sure you get this right. You don't want to get this wrong. Keep all these things in mind and get it right. Now, before we get to some of the fun stuff, I want you to hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on the latest information as it becomes available to you. And share this one out. Leave me comments. I love you guys when you leave me comments. And so leave comments. I read them. As a single woman, you want to take care of your health and wellness, because when that time comes for you to retire, you want to be able to enjoy it. Travel if you want to. Go up in a high air balloon. Do whatever you want to do. Go skiing. The things that you weren't able to do while you were working. That's what you want to enjoy. You want a healthy life and you want a long life, but you want to feel good when you go out there to those adventures that you may want to go on, travel to another country, whatever it is that you want to do at this time. So it's critical that we always care for ourselves. And sometimes that means eating right. It always means eating right. It may mean exercising, but it also means sometimes taking a little time for yourself. Go get a massage. Do some things, relax sometimes, do some things that are healthy for your body. Breathe in, breathe out, do some things like that for you. But health and wellness is great for you, and it will keep you during your retirement years. Another thing that you are probably doing right now throughout your life, whether you are single when it's time to retire because of a death of a spouse, or a divorce, or maybe you just never got married. Whatever the reason is while you're single, the thing that you want to do is build up a support system around you. Friends and family are great for that. No one is living on an island. No one lives alone. We all need each other to survive, to live, and you need that human touch at some point in time in your life. So get those friends around you that are good for you, that are supportive for you. Those friends that are adding to you, not subtracting from you. Those friends that understand where you are, where you want to go, and will support that. It's always good. And you can find those friends. It may be at church, it may be at work, but find something in common with people and get those friends, because you need a support group around you before you retire, so you can have some people to kind of rely on, kind of if you need to call someone and talk to them about some things, because you won't be in that workforce where you see people every day and you can chat with them. Once you retire, you're on your own, and it's whatever you want to do at that point, but have those friends around that you can count on during your retirement age. As a single female, retirement is a beautiful thing. Once you retire, you have your independence and your freedom. That means you get to make whatever choices you want to make about what you want to do on a daily basis, what time you get up, what time you go to bed, where you want to travel, where you want to live, if you want to downsize your house, whatever it is you want to do. You don't have to ask anyone. Of course, we talked about the responsibilities of being a single female retired. However, you are free to do what you want to do, what's best for you, without asking anyone else. So you have that independence and you have that freedom, and that is one perk of being single and retired. When you are retired, also, one thing that comes into play, you grow personally. You don't stop growing just because you left that job. You can pursue the things that you've always wanted to do, learn about new things, spend the time studying and practicing and doing the things that you may have wanted to do, learn more about. I learned more about the stock market. I had the time to do so. I could focus and concentrate on the things that I really wanted to do. And you have this when you retire. And if you're single, you can do it whenever you want to do it, for how long you want to do it. Just get out there and do the things that you want, but you don't stop your personal growth just because you've retired. As a matter of fact, mine have expanded to various areas. I'm more involved with my real estate. I'm more involved with the stock market. I can get into the community and become more involved because I have the freedom to do so. So this is a good thing and a perk of being single and retired. We're almost wrapped up, but the one thing that I do want to tell you is your estate planning will look different, especially if you're not married, especially if you don't have any children. But make sure as a single retired person, you get the estate planning done, because if you have something left over after you passed on, you want to leave that according to your wishes and no one else's wishes. So get those lined up. If it's a will, or just talk to a estate planning attorney and let them guide you and lead you. If you have nieces and nephews or cousins that you want to leave, or you may want to leave a charitable contribution to a church or a university. But it's all your choice when you're single and getting ready to retire, and you've done that and you've spent your life well and you still have something left over. You can leave a legacy. You can leave a scholarship in your name for future students going to a university. There's various things that you can do with that money if you don't have children or if you don't have a spouse to leave it to. So single and retirement, there's a lot of decisions that we have to make, but we want them all in line so we can enjoy retirement. And when retirement is over and it's our time to go on, we can still leave a contribution from ourselves here on earth. Hopefully this video will help single women be better prepared for retirement, because that's one downfall. As females, we're not as prepared as males are for retirement. Another thing, we normally live longer. Women normally live longer than men, and so we need to be prepared for that. And that being said, if we live longer, we need more money to live out those years. And if we live longer, our health care is usually more expensive because there are some extra years added on that we'll still have to pay for health care. So make sure we keep all of these in mind. One last thing that I will say is dig into Social Security, because you can get an estimate of the amount that you will be getting whenever you decide to draw Social Security, if it's there for you. So check into that. Also, the rules of Social Security, how much you can make, how you will be taxed, and all of that. Make sure you have all of that together because that can help you with your budgeting as you're living out your years in retirement. So it is a fun time. It's an exciting time. It's your next chapter of your life. This is life. It's not a dress rehearsal. So hopefully these tips will help you if you're single, retired, and living comfortably.